The intergalactic market of Velyar was always loud, crowded, and full of strange smells. Traders shouted prices, machines hummed, and hologram signs blinked in different colors. But on this day, something felt different. Something felt heavier, like the whole market was waiting for something to happen. Near a broken pillar, an old alien sat alone on the cold metal floor. His skin was pale blue, covered with thin cracks like old stone. His eyes were dim, tired, and filled with quiet pain. His clothes were torn, and his hands shook as he tried to stay warm. Many people passed by him, but no one stopped. No one cared. Two giant alien guards stood in front of him. Their armor was shiny black, their voices deep like thunder. One guard kicked a small metal bowl in front of the old alien. It slid across the floor and hit the wall. "You cannot stay here anymore," the guard shouted. "You have no credits. No payment. No place." The old alien lifted his head slowly, like it was too heavy for his neck. "I just need time," he whispered. His voice was thin, almost disappearing into the noise. "No time left," the guard growled. "Get out before we remove you by force." People nearby turned to watch. Some whispered. Some simply looked away. No one wanted trouble. No one wanted to stand between guards and a weak, helpless alien, except one. A human man named Ethan Reed was walking through the market, carrying a small bag of supplies. He was tired from traveling across 2 star systems, but something made him stop. Something made him look toward the broken pillar. He saw the old alien. He saw the guards. He saw real fear in the old alien's eyes, and Ethan's steps froze. He didn't know why. He didn't know this alien. He didn't know the rules of this planet very well. He didn't even know why the guards were being so harsh over something as simple as an unpaid bill. But Ethan felt something inside. A pull, a strange feeling that he should not walk away. The old alien tried to stand, shaking badly. He leaned on the pillar for support. "I served this city for many years," he whispered. "Now I have nothing. Please let me stay until sunset." The guard pushed him with one heavy hand. The old alien fell to the ground with a painful cry. That was the moment Ethan moved. He dropped his bag and stepped forward. "Stop," Ethan said, his voice steady but calm. "There's no need to hurt him." The guards turned sharply toward him. Their red eyes focused, analyzing him. "You are a visitor," one guard said. "This is not your concern." "Maybe not," Ethan replied, "but I can pay whatever he owes." The crowd gasped. A few aliens turned fully toward him now. A human offering money for a stranger? On Velyar, that never happened. The guard laughed, a deep metallic sound. "You?" he said. "Do you even know how much his debt is?" Ethan shook his head. "Tell me." The guard tapped a device. A hologram floated in the air, numbers glowing bright red. The total was far higher than Ethan expected. It was enough to buy a small ship engine. Enough to feed a family for months. Ethan's heart sank for a moment. That was nearly all the money he had left for his return trip. But then he looked at the old alien again, weak, cold, alone, terrified. Ethan exhaled slowly. He made his decision. "I'll pay it," he said. The guard stopped laughing. His expression changed. Not anger, not annoyance, something else. A strange flicker of fear. "You shouldn't get involved in this," the guard muttered. But Ethan had already lifted his payment chip. "Process it." With a tense silence filling the market, the guard finally accepted Ethan's payment. The hologram turned green. Debt cleared. The old alien stared at Ethan with wide, glassy eyes. He tried to speak, but no words came out. He simply shook his head slowly, as if he couldn't understand why someone would help him. Ethan walked over and gently helped him sit up straight. You all right?" he asked. The old alien clutched Ethan's arm. His fingers were cold like ice. "You should not have done that," he whispered. "You have brought danger upon yourself." Ethan frowned. "Danger? From who? The guards?" The old alien looked around nervously. His voice broke with fear. "No, from the ones who sent them." Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. "But why would anyone care about you so much?" he asked softly. The old alien's lips trembled. "Because," he said, "I carry something they want erased forever, and now, because you stood beside me, they will see you as part of it." Ethan opened his mouth to ask more, but something caught his eye. A black drone slowly floated above the crowd, scanning the area with red lights. Moving closer, searching. The old alien pulled Ethan's sleeve and whispered one last warning. "Run, before they find us both." And that was when Ethan realized this was no normal unpaid bill. This was the beginning of something far bigger and far more dangerous. The drone hovered above the market like a silent hunter, its red scanning light brushing across faces, searching for someone or something. Ethan felt the old alien's hand trembling on his arm. The alien's fear was real, so real that Ethan's heartbeat changed rhythm. He didn't understand the full situation, but one thing was clear. Walking away was no longer an option. Ethan pulled the old alien gently to his feet. "Come on," he whispered. "We can't stay here." But the guard stepped in front of him. "Human," the taller guard said. "You interfered. You paid the debt. But that does not mean you take him with you." Ethan stayed calm. If he showed fear, everything would collapse. "He's free now, isn't he? His debt is cleared." The guard leaned close, voice cold and quiet. "The debt was only a reason to remove him. You don't know what you're touching." Ethan looked directly into the guard's glowing red eyes. "Then explain it." But the guard stepped back as if Ethan had asked something dangerous. "We are not allowed to speak of it," he said. "Just walk away, human. For your own good." Ethan felt the pressure around him, eyes watching, whispers growing, the drone scanning closer. Every instinct told him this planet had secrets buried under metal floors and neon lights. Secrets everyone pretended not to see. He looked at the old alien again, weak, shivering, barely able to stand. "Sorry," Ethan said softly, "but I'm not leaving him here." With slow confidence, Ethan wrapped the alien's arm over his shoulder and began walking toward the side exit of the market. Gasps spread through the crowd. No one dared talk back to the guards. No one dared question authority in Villar. But a human did. The guards didn't attack. They didn't shoot. They just watched him walk, stiff, tense, unsure. Their silence spoke louder than their weapons. They were afraid to touch him now. "But why?" the old alien whispered weakly. "You are making enemies you do not see." Ethan replied, "Doesn't matter. You needed help." They reached a dark alley behind the market. The noise faded. The air felt colder. Ethan gently helped the old alien sit beside a metallic crate. "All right," Ethan said, kneeling. "Tell me what's going on." The old alien closed his eyes, breathing slow and painful. "For many years," he whispered, "I was a keeper. One of the last protectors of an ancient knowledge. Something called the Star Key." Ethan frowned. "A key, like a real key?" "Not a simple key," the alien said. "It unlocks something beyond planets, beyond time itself. And the rulers of Velier want every last piece destroyed." Ethan sat back, shocked but listening carefully. "But why you? How did you get involved?" "I was born into it," the alien said. "My people protected the Star Key for thousands of cycles. Until the Purge. Until they hunted us, one by one." Ethan felt his chest tighten. "You're the last one left?" "Yes," the old alien whispered. "And now you helped me. Now they will think you know something. They will come after you." Ethan exhaled slowly, rubbing his forehead. "Well, too late now. We'll find a way." He tried to stand, but the old alien grabbed his wrist suddenly. "No," he said with surprising strength. "You must listen. There is something stranger. Something I do not understand." He lifted his sleeve. A faint glowing mark appeared, a symbol like a tiny star inside a circle. It glowed brighter when Ethan came closer. Ethan stared at it. "What is happening?" "The mark reacts only to one species," the alien whispered. "Only to those who once controlled the key." Ethan blinked. "You mean humans?" The old alien nodded slowly. "In this galaxy, they believe humans are weak, simple, unimportant." He touched Ethan's hand. "But long ago, your kind were something else. Something feared, something respected." Ethan almost laughed. "No one fears humans out here." The old alien looked straight into Ethan's eyes. "They should." Before Ethan could ask more, a sudden humming sound echoed in the alley. The drone had found them. A red beam swept across the walls, locking onto their location. The old alien clutched Ethan's arm again, panic rising. "We must leave now." Ethan grabbed him and helped him up. He felt adrenaline rush through his body. The drone lowered itself, preparing to send a signal to the guards. Ethan whispered, "Don't worry. I won't let them take you." The old alien gave him a sad smile. "You still do not understand. They do not want to take me." He swallowed hard. "They want to erase me, forever." The drone's alarm activated sharp and loud. Ethan grabbed the old alien more tightly and ran into the shadows. A single decision had now become a chase for survival. Ethan and the old alien ran through the narrow service tunnels behind the market. Dim lights flickered overhead, and distant machinery clanged like giant metal hearts beating underground. Ethan's breathing grew heavier, but he didn't slow down. The drone's alarm was echoing behind them, bouncing off the walls like a warning from something far bigger than the guards. When they finally reached a quiet corner of the tunnels, Ethan stopped. The old alien leaned against the wall, shaking and gasping for air. Ethan crouched beside him. "Are you okay? Do you need water?" The old alien nodded weakly. Ethan pulled out a small water tube from his bag and helped him drink. For a moment, the alien closed his eyes, letting the cool water calm him. Then he opened them again, with a seriousness Ethan had never seen before. "You have stepped into a shadow that most beings fear," he whispered. "Not even the guards fully know who they work for." Ethan frowned. "Then who is really after you?" The old alien looked down the tunnel as if expecting eyes to appear from the darkness. "They call themselves the Erasers, not a government, not a military. They are something much older. They destroy knowledge that can change the balance of the galaxy." Ethan felt a chill crawl up his spine. "What knowledge?" he asked. The alien raised his trembling hand. A faint blue light glowed under his skin again, the strange symbol Ethan had seen before. "This," the alien said softly. "And what it connects to?" Ethan stared at the glowing mark. It pulsed, almost like a heartbeat. "What does the symbol mean?" Ethan asked. "It is a fragment of the star key," the alien replied. "A map, a memory, a power. My people carried these marks for thousands of years, passing wisdom from one generation to the next." Ethan touched the glowing light gently. "Why does it react when I get close?" The alien looked into his eyes, really looked, as if judging something deep inside Ethan's soul. "Because humans once stood beside the Keepers," he said. "You were our allies during the first collapse." Ethan blinked. "The first what?" "A war so old that the galaxy pretends it never happened," the alien whispered. "A war that humans helped end. A war the Erasers want forgotten forever." Ethan felt the ground shift under his understanding of the universe. Humans? Warriors of an ancient war? He had never heard any of this, not in books, not in history, not in any datapad. "That doesn't make sense," Ethan said slowly. "Humans are new to space travel. We're weak compared to every species out here. The old alien shook his head. No, you are remembered as weak because someone wanted you forgotten. Ethan didn't know what to say. He had no proof, but something about the alien's voice, the fear, the weight in his words, made it all feel terrifyingly real. Suddenly, a soft beep echoed from the old alien's wrist. His eyes widened. They found us again, he whispered. Ethan stood up immediately. How? There are no drones here. The erasers do not use drones, the alien said. They use trackers, ones that react to the star key's energy. Ethan felt anger rise in his chest. So helping you put both of us on their list? The alien nodded sadly. You should leave, he said. You are young, you have a future. The erasers will not chase you if you walk away now. Ethan looked at the alien for a long silent moment. This old being, someone who had lost everything, was still trying to protect him. But Ethan had already made his choice. No, Ethan said firmly. I'm staying. The old alien's eyes softened, almost shining with emotion. You remind, he whispered, of the humans who once walked the stars with pride. Before Ethan could ask more, the tunnel light suddenly flickered. A thin, sharp sound sliced through the air like a needle piercing metal. The old alien grabbed Ethan's hand. Panic returning. They're here. A shadow appeared at the far end of the tunnel, tall, silent, wearing a dark hood that hid its face. It wasn't walking, it was gliding. Ethan felt every muscle in his body tighten. What is that thing? The old alien whispered trembling words. An eraser, a real one. They erase history. And anyone who carries it. The shadow moved closer, slow and confident, as if nothing in the world could stop it. Ethan stepped in front of the old alien. His heart beat fast, but his eyes stayed focused. You want him, Ethan said. You won't get him. The eraser stopped. For a moment, silence filled the tunnel. Then the symbol on the alien's arm glowed again. Brighter, stronger, responding to Ethan. Even more than before, the eraser tilted its head. As if realizing something unexpected. As if recognizing. Ethan, the old alien whispered, it sees you. It knows who you are. The tunnel fell into a silence so deep, felt like the world stopped breathing. The eraser stood only a few meters away, tall, thin, wrapped in a dark cloak that moved even though there was no wind. Its face was hidden behind a smooth metallic mask, but Ethan felt its eyes scanning him, studying him, almost recognizing him. The old alien clutched Ethan's arm tightly. It knows you, he whispered. It should not know you, but it does. Ethan whispered back, why? I've never seen anything like this before. The alien shook his head. Your blood. Your presence. The star key mark reacts to you. It should only react to keepers and ancient allies. It means you carry something inside you that even you do not understand. Before Ethan could ask more, the eraser finally spoke. Its voice wasn't normal. It sounded like metal scraping stone, mixed with a whisper from far away. Human, why do you protect him? Ethan stepped forward slowly, fear burning in his chest but not controlling him. Because he needed help, Ethan said firmly. Because you tried to hurt him. The eraser tilted its head in a strange, slow motion. Humans, it said almost curious, always making choices without knowledge, always interfering with things beyond their place. Ethan clenched his fists. Maybe, but I won't let you erase him. The eraser raised a thin skeletal hand. A black spear-like weapon materialized out of thin air formed from shadows. The old alien gasped, pulling Ethan back. No! That is a null spear. One strike erases the memory of whoever it touches. Past name, identity gone forever. Ethan froze for a second. Not death. Something worse. Total erasure. But instead of running, Ethan stepped in front of the alien again, shielding him. You want him, Ethan said, voice steady. You go through me. The eraser paused as if confused by the human stupidity or courage. "You do not understand," it said. "He holds forbidden knowledge. He must disappear." "Knowledge about what?" Ethan demanded. "The star key?" The eraser's mask twitched at the word. Even speaking, it seemed to disturb the creature. "The key must not be remembered," the eraser hissed. "If awakened, it will change everything. It will break the control we have built for thousands of years." Ethan narrowed his eyes. "So, that's why you want him dead? Because he knows your secrets?" "No," the eraser said. "Because he can create hope." Ethan felt something dark and cold move through the tunnel. This thing didn't fear weapons. It feared hope. Suddenly, the symbol on the old alien's arm began glowing again, bright enough to light the tunnel walls. But this time Ethan's hand glowed faintly too, responding to the same energy. The eraser stepped back. "You," it whispered. "You are compatible." Ethan's heart hammered. "What does that mean?" "It means," the old alien whispered, voice trembling, "that the star key recognizes you. It sees you as someone who can awaken its power." Ethan had no idea how or why. He was just a traveler. He had no special bloodline, no forgotten heritage, not that he knew of, but the eraser clearly believed otherwise. "No more running," the eraser declared. "I will erase both of you." It raised the null spear. Ethan reacted instantly. He grabbed the old alien and pulled him behind a metal crate. The spear slammed into the wall where Ethan had stood a moment earlier. The metal didn't dent, it simply vanished, cleanly erased. "Move!" Ethan shouted. They ran deeper into the tunnels. The eraser followed slowly, confidently, as if no one could ever escape it. Its footsteps didn't echo. They simply appeared. Soundless and chilling, the old alien pointed toward a maintenance door. "In there!" Ethan kicked the panel. It opened with a hiss. They rushed inside and slammed it shut. The room was small, filled with old machinery, dusty cables, and flickering lights. Ethan locked the door and backed away. The old alien collapsed to the floor, holding his glowing mark. "It's reacting." "Faster," he whispered. "Too fast. It is choosing you." Ethan shook his head. "I didn't choose anything. I just paid your bill." The alien almost smiled through his fear. Kindness can be the beginning of destiny. Suddenly, a metallic scraping sound filled the air. The eraser was outside, dragging its spear across the door, testing the metal. Preparing to enter, Ethan felt sweat trickle down his neck. "What do we do now?" he whispered. The old alien opened his eyes, now glowing faintly with the same color as the mark on his arm. "You run," he said, "and I give you something that will change your life forever." He reached into his torn cloak and pulled out a small crystal cube, shining with soft white and blue light. "Take this," he said. "It is the first fragment of the star key." Ethan hesitated. The cube pulsed when he touched it, like it recognized him. Outside, the eraser lifted its spear. The door began to dissolve. The hunt had truly begun. The door was slowly dissolving under the touch of the eraser's null spear. Metal didn't melt, didn't break, didn't burn. It simply vanished into nothing, piece by piece. Inside the cramped machinery room, the old alien pressed the glowing crystal cube into Ethan's hands. "Take it," he whispered urgently. "It will respond only to you now." Ethan held the cube, feeling a soft vibration push into his palm. It felt alive, like it had a pulse. But fear tightened in his chest. "Don't understand," Ethan said. "Why give this to me? You said it can get us both killed." "No," the alien replied, his voice trembling. "It can get me killed. You are something different." Ethan's eyes flicked toward the door. More of it disappeared every second. "We don't have time for riddles." The old alien placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder, then listened carefully. "The star key is not a weapon. Not exactly. It is a guide, a doorway. A path to something ancient. Something that only humans once had the strength to face." Ethan shook his head. Humans? We're barely surviving out here. Every species thinks we're weak. Because they made you weak, the alien whispered. They erased your history. Just like they are trying to erase me. Ethan stared at him, stunned. You're telling me humans used to be powerful? More than powerful, the alien said. His eyes glowed softly. You were the ones who stood beside us during the first collapse. You were the species that the galaxy feared, not for your strength, but for your will. Ethan swallowed hard. My will is not going to save us from that thing, he said. Pointing at the dissolving door, the old alien squeezed his hand. It already has. Before Ethan could respond, a sharp snap echoed. The final piece of the door vanished. The eraser stood in the doorway, dark robes drifting like smoke. Its hollow voice filled the room. Human, you carry the key fragment. Hand it over, and your erasure will be painless. Ethan tightened his grip on the cube. He could feel it pulsing faster, almost like it was waking up. Not happening, Ethan said. The eraser tilted its head slightly. You choose a dangerous path. Humans were always predictable. Ethan stepped in front of the old alien again. You hurt one helpless old man, and you think you know all of humanity? The eraser raised the null spear. Your bravery is irrelevant. But before it could strike, the crystal cube in Ethan's hand exploded with light. A brilliant blue-white wave shot out, wrapping around Ethan and the old alien like a glowing shield. Sparks danced across the walls, and the null spear stopped. Midair as if it hit invisible stone. The eraser stumbled back, not physically shaken, but surprised. That energy. It whispered, impossible. Humans cannot activate the key. The old alien smiled weakly. I told you, he said to Ethan. It recognizes you. Ethan stared at his glowing hand, unable to believe what he was seeing. What exactly did? I just do? You didn't do anything, the alien answered softly. You simply made a decision. The key reacts to choice, to intention, to the heart, not power. Ethan shook his head in disbelief. All I did was help you. And that, said the alien, is why you are worthy. The eraser tried to push forward again, shadows swirling around its feet. This changes nothing. The human must be erased. Ethan held the cube up instinctively. The light strengthened like the cube was protecting him. No, Ethan said, his voice steady. This changes everything. The room shook as the eraser threw its full force at the shield. Sparks burst. Machinery vibrated. The ground rumbled under their feet, but the shield held. The alien leaned closer to Ethan, whispering quickly. Listen. You must take me to the outer docks. There's a ship hidden there. It belongs to my people. With the key fragment, it will respond to you. Ethan looked at the eraser, then at the old alien. That's our escape? It is more than escape. The alien said, it is the beginning of truth. Ethan nodded. He didn't know what he was stepping into. He didn't know what the star key was. He didn't know who the erasers truly were, but he knew one thing. He wasn't abandoning this old alien. He wasn't running from the truth. And he wasn't giving the erasers anything. Ethan took a deep breath and tightened his grip on the cube. All right, he said, let's move. The eraser slammed against the shield again, cracks of darkness forming around its edges, but Ethan didn't wait to see what happened next. He grabbed the alien, pushed through a back maintenance hatch, and disappeared. Into the tunnels once more. Behind them, the eraser's mask cracked. A sign of anger. A sign of fear. A sign that the human had just changed something the galaxy never expected. Ethan and the old alien rushed through the service tunnels, lit only by flickering blue lights. Behind them, the eraser's distorted voice echoed like a nightmare crawling. Through metal pipes, you cannot hide. Humans cannot escape their forgotten past. The old alien leaned heavily on Ethan as they ran. His glowing arm flickered weaker than before. Stay with me, Ethan said. "We're almost out." "No," the alien whispered. "The shield drained me. I am fading." Ethan tightened his grip. "Then lean on me. I'm not letting you drop." They turned a corner and froze. The tunnel ended in a wide chamber. The walls curved like the inside of a giant metal sphere. Strange symbols glowed faintly across the ceiling, symbols Ethan had never seen before. The old alien gasped. "This is a keeper chamber. I did not know it still existed." Before Ethan could respond, a heavy metallic thud shook the floor behind them. The eraser had entered the chamber, but something was different now. Its cloak flickered like broken holograms. Its spear pulsed with unstable dark energy. Ethan's shield blast had damaged it more than it showed. "You ran far enough," the eraser rasped. "Now surrender the fragment." Ethan raised the glowing cube again, but this time no shield formed. The cube was dark, silent. The old alien closed his eyes in pain. "It needs time to recharge," he whispered. The eraser moved forward like a shadow sliding across the floor. "With your erasure," it said, "the last keeper will vanish. The key will die with you." Ethan stepped in front of the old alien, fists clenched. "I already told you, if you want him, you deal with me first." The eraser lifted its spear, but before it could strike, a thunderous boom shook the chamber. A blast of teal and gold light erupted from the ceiling. Stone cracked, air rippled. Sparks rained down. 3 figures dropped from above, tall, armored beings with glowing lines across their suits, shaped like ancient runes. Their eyes shone bright with the same color as the cube in Ethan's hand. The old alien gasped. "The Guardians, they still exist." One Guardian stepped forward, raising a massive staff that crackled with blue lightning. "Eraser!" The Guardian thundered. "You violate ancient law." The eraser hissed like a broken machine. "The keepers are extinct. The law is irrelevant." "The law stands," the Guardian said, slamming the staff on the floor. "And the human is under our protection." Ethan blinked. "Wait, me?" The Guardian turned to him. "Yes, human. The key fragment responded to you. That makes you a claimant." "A what?" Ethan said. "A potential wielder of the star key," the Guardian answered. The eraser suddenly lunged at them. "Nitrogen monoxide human can wield the key. It is forbidden." The Guardians moved instantly. 2 blocked the eraser with glowing shields, while the third lifted the old alien gently into his arms. Ethan rushed forward. "Be careful with him." "He's hurt," the Guardian nodded. "He is a keeper. We will not let him fall." The chamber shook as the eraser fought the 2 Guardian warriors. Sparks of black and blue energy collided, lighting up the walls. Ethan shielded his eyes from the brightness. The old alien reached toward Ethan weakly. "Ethan, listen. The Guardians are the last protectors of the key. They will help us, but you must stay calm." Ethan knelt beside him. "I'm not leaving you." The alien gave a faint smile. "You already proved that." One of the Guardians turned toward Ethan, calling out, "Human, the fragment is reacting again. Take it out." Ethan lifted the cube. It was glowing once more, brighter than ever. The eraser saw the light and screamed, a sound like 1,000 metal blades scraping across each other. "That human is a threat. He must be erased." The Guardians stood between it and Ethan. "You will not touch the claimant," their leader said. But Ethan suddenly felt something. The cube was warming. Shaking, alive. He heard a soft, distant hum from inside it, like a voice calling him forward. "What do I do?" Ethan shouted. The Guardian leader pointed at a circular pattern on the chamber floor. "Place the fragment in the center. It will activate the chamber. It will protect us." Ethan ran to the circle, avoiding the flashes of battle behind him. He reached the center and knelt, placing the cube gently into a small indentation. The chamber reacted instantly. Light surged across the symbols. Energy rose from the floor like mist. The walls hummed with ancient power. A protective dome formed. Around Ethan, the old alien, and the Guardians, the eraser struck the dome with its spear, but the spear disintegrated on contact. No. The eraser whispered, backing away. This cannot be happening. Humans must not rise again. Ethan watched as the dome grew stronger, brighter, rising like a small sun inside the chamber. The Guardian leader turned to him. You have awakened. The Keeper's Sanctuary, he said. You have done what even we could not. Ethan swallowed. I didn't do anything special. The old alien smiled weakly. You made a single human decision. And the universe answered. The glowing dome inside the Keeper's Sanctuary pulsed like a living heart. Outside it, the eraser stumbled backward, its shadow-like armor flickering and unraveling at the edges. For the first time, it looked afraid. Inside the dome, Ethan stood. Beside the old alien, the Guardians forming a protective circle around them. The light from the star key fragment shined upward, filling the ceiling with swirling blue and gold patterns. Symbols rearranged themselves like they were alive. Ethan stared around, overwhelmed. What is happening? He whispered. The Guardian leader lowered his staff respectfully. You human have awakened the sanctuary. Only a true claimant can do this. Ethan shook his head. I'm not special. I didn't train for anything. I don't even know why the key reacted to me. The Guardian replied gently. The key chooses by heart, not by power. The old alien touched Ethan's arm, his voice soft but filled with pride. Your kindness saved me. And that simple choice has changed far more than you know. Ethan knelt beside him. You talk like this is over, but it's not. You're hurt. We need to get you out of here. The alien smiled faintly. Ethan, I am not afraid anymore. The moment you touched the fragment, the universe shifted. The Keeper's legacy lives again. Before Ethan could answer, the eraser screamed in fury outside the dome. You cannot protect him forever. The human does not understand the danger he carries. The Guardian leader stepped forward, staff glowing bright. You are finished, eraser. Leave this place. No, the eraser roared. The human is a threat to the order. Humans must remain forgotten. History must not return. Ethan finally stepped toward the dome's edge. What are you so scared of? What did humans ever do to you? The eraser's mask cracked down the middle, revealing swirling darkness beneath. Humans refused control, it hissed. They broke the galaxy once. They will break it again. Ethan wasn't convinced. Or maybe humans just never learned how to kneel. The eraser froze. The Guardians looked at each other. The old alien smiled. That, he whispered, is exactly why the Keepers trusted your species. Suddenly, the sanctuary shifted again. The light from the cube rose into the air, forming a holographic map, stars connected by glowing lines, constellations Ethan had never seen. The map slowly expanded until it filled the entire chamber. What is this? Ethan breathed. The old alien's eyes shimmered. This is the true map of the Star Key, a map lost for thousands of cycles. The Guardians bowed their heads. The human has restored what we thought gone forever. The eraser slammed its fists against the dome, but each strike made its shadow form fade more and more. This cannot be. It screamed. The key cannot return. Ethan looked at the holographic stars, then at the dying old alien, then at the Guardians kneeling around him. For the first time since he left Earth, Ethan felt something strange. Not fear, not confusion. Responsibility. He slowly turned to the Guardian leader. What happens now? The Guardian raised his staff. Now, human, the galaxy changes. With the key awakened, ancient powers will notice. Factions will rise. Alliances will shift. And the erasers will come for you. Ethan swallowed hard. Me? Why me? The Guardian pointed at his chest. Because you are chosen. The key responds to your presence. You are the one it trusts. The old alien reached out weakly, and Ethan immediately took his hand. Ethan, listen carefully. I do not have many breaths left, but I must give you something. The last piece of my duty. His glowing hand touched Ethan's wrist. There was a flash of blue light. Ethan gasped. A small symbol like the alien's own mark appeared faintly under Ethan's skin. The Keeper's mark, the alien whispered. My life, my purpose. Now shared with you. Ethan struggled to find words. I don't know if I can do this. The alien smiled softly. That is what every keeper said at the beginning. His breathing grew weaker. His eyes dimmed. Do not let the galaxy forget the truth again. Ethan Reed. And with one last exhale, the old alien's hand fell still. The Guardians bowed deeply, their first bow to a human in thousands of years. Ethan closed the alien's eyes gently. You won't be forgotten, he whispered. Outside the dome, the eraser shrieked as its mask finally crumbled. Its shadow form twisted, broke, and dissolved into sparks of dark dust. The threat was gone, but Ethan felt no victory, only the weight of everything now resting on him. He lifted the glowing cube. The holographic map pulsed again, waiting for a command. The Guardian leader approached. Ethan Reed, he said formally. The Star Key has chosen its new path. You are no longer a visitor to the galaxy. You are a bearer of its hidden legacy. Ethan took a deep breath. So where do we go now? The Guardian smiled for the first time. Where the key leads, and where your heart decides. The map brightened, pointing toward distant stars. Ethan looked at the universe unfolding before him. A simple choice to help one old alien had changed his entire destiny. He squared his shoulders. All right, he whispered. Let's change the galaxy. And with that, Ethan Reed, the human no one expected, took his first step into a destiny the universe had tried to erase.